Hi everyone. Hi Mom. Okay, I've finished my journal. So for those of you who don't know the story behind this one, I had gone to see my son and I flew. Now, I love to travel, but I really don't like to fly. And this particular day was a very windy day, and so I was especially nervous. And anyways, I was going by myself, and I sat down in my seat, and the woman beside me, she knew immediately that I didn't like to fly, because she asked me, "Are you okay?" And I said, "Not really." Anyway, she did her best to distract me, and we chatted, and there were moments when I felt like I was gonna die, and yeah, it's irrational. I understand this in my head, but trying to get my body to cooperate is another thing. Anyway, she was super helpful, and she told me this thing that she tells her daughter. And she says, yeah, whenever my daughter's afraid, we tell her to step into the fear. And I thought about that a lot. And, needless to say, we got there fine and, everything was good. And, but just before we were landing, she noticed the journal that I had with me. And she asked me if I'd made it. And of course I said, yes, I did. And she said, oh, do you sell them? And I said, no, I actually don't sell them. I said, but give me your name and your address and I'll send you one. And she didn't want to do that, but I insisted. I mean, I felt like she got me there alive. I know, it's crazy, right? So anyways, there you go. There's a story behind this. Now, I found out a little bit about her, so I tried to style this journal after the little I know about her. She did like vintage, so I went with the vintage. Now, I did this closing. I can't remember who showed this on their book, and I thought, oh, that's pretty cool, because I have a lot of these. And I had this brad already colored up in it was a colored center, and it was silver. And you guys know I don't like silver. So I, used my alcohol ink. On the back here, I just layered a bunch of different doilies. And some of them, well, this was the big doily, so dollar store doily. This here is that coffee filter doily that I showed you guys before. And this doily, I had covered it in, first I coffee stained it, and then I covered it in the gel, I believe. The spine, I did do 2 signatures. Now, I almost wished I had done more, but yeah, I did 2. I added a little dangle on here because I just, I love to play with these things, right? So, and I tied a seam binding bow, but I left the tails really long because you can actually flip them up and then use them as bookmarks. That was my thinking on that. 2 rows of pearls. Now, these ones are from Wild Orchid Craft, and I colored them with my alcohol ink. These are pearls I got from my craft store, and they were white, so I colored them again with the alcohol ink. eBay, and I'm not sure, that was gifted to me, but I can't remember who gifted it to me. I think it was Karen Brake. And I did my modeling paste. That's the new stencil that I got, the Tim Holtz one, and I think it's called, oh, I forget. I think it looks like damask, and I think that's what it should be called, but that's not what it's called. So back here is some lace. And that is from Crafty Wifey, I think. And then some more paper doilies. There's 2 fabric doilies here, crochet doilies. And I coffee stained everything. I rubbed some Perfect Pearls, Pinterest download, did the Liquitex. We've had this huge discussion on Facebook, Junk Journal Junkies, on this stuff, and so I think I've kind of got a whole pile of gals ordering it. So that's the outside. Okay, so like I said, there's 2 signatures, and I'll show you why I think there should have been 3. We'll get there, but yeah, I didn't do 3 because I actually want her. I know that she does keep a day planner, so I thought it'd be kind of cool to actually write in this thing and be able to write in this thing. Okay, so everything is from Pinterest. Mostly everything is coffee stained. There's a few things that aren't, like this one. And all of them are covered in the gloss medium. A lot of stamping, a lot of scraps, and a lot of coffee dyeing. Okay, I did some Wink of Stella on this. I don't know if that shows up, but it's a little sparkly. Folded over this doily here. Now, I did get a new doily punch, so that's the Martha Stewart. I made the button, and again, more downloads. They're all either journaling or when they're smaller, I just did them as inspirational tags. I'll show you what I mean when we get there. This is also a download. I downloaded 2 onto 1 sheet, so it's actually 2-sided here. Crafty Irina gifted me the little flowers. All the edges are done with the Martha Stewart punch and inked. A lot of washi. Tickets from Crafty Irina, and I, did up a whole whack of them, just coffee stained them. Pinterest, everything's Pinterest. And then the grid paper, Yvonne linked a blog that you could download the grid paper for free, so that's what I did, and then I did it double-sided because my printer will actually print double-sided, and then I just coffee stained everything. Okay, so this is that's just a cheap dollar store paper doily. Both of them are. This one I coffee stained. This one I did with the Lindy's. This one's called Spanish Moss Green. Crocheted flower I did. Somebody gifted me that vintage button. This tag is done at, I think it's 2, I believe it's 2 stamps, with the resist and, what's it called? Distress ink. And then splattered with the Lindy's, this one's a glitz, and it is called Medieval Gold. So it will just leave a gold. It actually, there's no color to it. It's just the gold sparkle. And then, so this one says, don't judge each day by the harvest you reap, but by the seeds that you plant. And that's Robert Louis Stevenson. So you'll see a lot of inspirational tags. This was gifted from New Crafter Bev, and no, sorry, that's a Martha Stewart. There is one in here from her, but that's a Martha Stewart. Okay, lots of stamping, you guys. Washi. I did all of the grid paper. I did washi down the spine so that it wouldn't tear. There's some washi on here because I screwed up the edge, so I put washi on it and repunched it, and I actually kind of like that. Turned out pretty good. Okay, so this one says, the best things in life are unseen. That's why we close our eyes when we kiss, laugh, or dream. Yeah, lots of stamping. Okay, so this one, I think it's adorable. So I did coffee stain this because it is whiter when you download it. And then imagination is more important than knowledge. Albert Einstein. And this is from Lisa, Maggie 2005 Cupcake. Lots of places to journal. Okay, so this is an envelope that I made. I made an oversized envelope and put the patterned paper on the inside of the envelope. This is one of the coffee filters that I cut out, stamped on it, and then did this tag. Now this one says, life brings simple pleasures to us every day. It is up to us to make them wonderful memories. Kathy Allen. I don't know who the heck that is, but she said that. And so then when you open it up, it's just a picture. And this is, from Pinterest. I sewed it in. I went over it with my gloss medium, and then it's a pocket on the other side. This stamp is from Valentina, who is... It'll come to me, you guys. There's another one. I did a bit of gold. And I finally got one of those Versamark pens. Love it! So that you can just, you know, do it over in little spots if that's all you want. And this one says, we tend to forget that happiness doesn't come as a result of getting something we don't have, but rather of recognizing and appreciating what we do have. Frederick Koenig. Don't know who he is either. What is her name? Valentina. I don't know. It's gone. Okay, that is from New Crafter Bev. This one here is from Valentina again. And I really wish I could remember her YouTube name. Marieville55, that's it. And I just put a little clip on there so that it would flip out and she could write on the entire page instead of kind of around the photo. Life is a promise, fulfill it, Mother Teresa. Adopt the pace of nature. Her secret is patience. Yeah, we've talked about that before, haven't we? In this moment, and this is a Prima blue collection, something blue actually. Okay, more washi. This one here is from Patty Perry, and this Pinterest download, I left, there's no medium on this part. I just did the outside edge on that so that she could actually journal there, and then that's just leftover lined paper I have. I put this lace on it so that you know, you can add an envelope or whatever, you know, that she wants to keep without losing. It'll tuck in there. And that is from, I think that's from Lisa as well. So there's the other side of that paper. Little tuck. This was left over from the Sherlock Holmes book that I did. And okay, this one says, when you have a dream, grab it and never let it go. So I just did it on a piece of scrap paper. And then this is one of my crocheted flowers. Put a brad in the center. I did ink up the edge a little bit. It was a brighter green, so I wanted it darker. And so you see how there's like this huge center, but I just kind of did some washi and then I wrapped some seam binding around it. I just want it to lay easy, you know, like if I put another one in there, this thing would be like ginormous, right? So I don't know. Probably should have had another, and I thought about it, but decided, nope, I've had enough of working on this book. So yeah, that's the way she's getting it. So I just did a little, this is from Marla H. And then another download, mounted it on some scrap, and this one says, in this moment. And I love this edge stamp. It's kind of pretty. Anyway. And this is a download from Pinterest. Isn't that pretty? It's little ballerinas. I love that. And this one says, a little birdie told me. I don't know why I tell you what they say, because I'm sure you can read it for yourself. But and then these are spell binders. It's a set of butterfly edged. So some cut and some just emboss. And then I put it over this scrap. I had this left over, so it's actually a tuck spot as well. Postcard. That's the one I demoed, I think. Dare to Dream. Added some of this crochet trim that I coffee dyed. Created a pocket out of this one. I should have coffee dyed that because I really don't like the color of it, but doily that I made, and then coffee dyed this piece of paper, and then I stamped this one and used olive gold. That's another Lindy's. And then this one says, a dream is just a dream until you decide to make it real. And I did that out of gold embossing because it's dark paper. Now this I did out of coffee filters and stamped on it, only on the front, and then made a little tiny notebook out of it. I had these note papers, so I just cut them out of my spellbinders and then just cut the edge off and stapled the papers together, and then I folded over another piece of cardstock, glued that on, and then I put this over top of it. Just a little, you know, notebook. I don't know, what does that say? I promise to, that's what it says. And again, there's another envelope. This one I made a little bit smaller, but I love this stamp. It's so cool. And then what did I do to that? Same thing. I think I just did the distress ink and splattered it with the gold. And then on this side it says, "Everything you can imagine is real." Picasso said that. So that's how I stamped out that one. And that's from Valentina. And then I put this picture. I like this one. Sewed around it again. And then this one has the, this is probably one of my favorite flower stamps. I just really like that. And then, whoops, and then this one is my big doily stamp. So I did it in archival ink first, and then I played with my gelatos. So I used the gold gelato and just rubbed it all over, and then I added a bit of green here and there to it just to give it a bit of color. This one I actually typed out myself, and then printed it, coffee stained it, and then stuck it on here. It says, "Life is short, live it. Love is rare, grab it. Anger is bad, dump it. Fear is awful, face it. Memories are sweet, cherish them." So yeah, I just found a whole bunch of really cool, kind of inspirational things, you know, and I didn't like, you know, how they printed them or the background or whatever. So I thought, well, I'll just save them all onto my Pinterest, retype them into the WordPad, and then, you know, print out. So I actually have 4 different sayings on one sheet of paper, and I just saved it so I can reuse them. And true beauty in a woman is reflected in her soul. Graphic 45. Added some Chinese braid, and this is from Ruth Burr, and I just coffee stained it. And I had an extra download of this one, so I did that one. So there's lots of journaling spots. It's really what it was about for me. Oh, that's upside down. So that's the postcard one. And this one says, "Note to self." Is that right side up? Oh, yeah. And then I stamped teapots there and the little butterflies there. It became a lot of butterflies. I didn't intend that, but, you know, I mean butterflies, right? And this one here was a scrap piece I had left, so I decided to make a little flip out for that. And ballerinas again, and then another flip out. So that's the end of that. Stamped on that side. Created a pocket out of just a scrap. This was like one strip. I folded it in half to make it a little thicker. Coffee stained it, and then I downloaded these, which I love these little cards. And each one has an inspirational note on it. So this one says, "Faith, it does not make things easy, it makes them possible," which is Luke 1:37. And this one says, "The best view comes after the hardest climb." And this one says, "Too often we underestimate the power of a touch, a smile, a kind word, a listening ear, an honest compliment, or the smallest act of caring, all of which have the potential to turn a life around." So, you know, I think in our discussion, she kind of mentioned she's a pastor or something like that. I can't honestly remember. And so I knew that she would appreciate you know, something like that. So I'm so glad it's finished. I did enjoy very much working on it, but it started to get tiring. It's taken me more than a week to do this book, and I'm ready for the next one. So yeah, if you guys think that I should kind of take that apart a little bit, you know, take out the seam binding in the center and add another signature, let me know. I'm not saying I'll do it, but if you think it looks really stupid, just, you know, leave a comment and tell me what you think, and, you know, and then maybe I'll go ahead and do it. I don't know. If I do, I think it's just going to be coffee stained paper, and that's it, just to fill the hole. But it's pretty chunky, so, you know, I really want her to be able to use it. Anyway, that's it for today, you guys. So hopefully, yeah, I'm going to be working on the next swap, which is not till January, but I want to get it done, and I think it has something to do with flowers. So yeah, I'm ready for a change. I'm going to be working on some, before I do that, pen pal letters. So hopefully you guys will be getting your letters in the next week or so. And thanks for watching. Have an awesome day. Talk to you soon. Bye.